Good evening, everybody. Logan Webb was outstanding tonight as the Giants win back-to-back games for the first time in nearly 3 weeks. Well, this is a huge deal. The 49ers are essentially, they're pushing all of their chips in the middle of the table. They're saying,
let's go.
Super Bowl or bust, essentially,
it.
because in acquiring McCaffrey for draft picks, the 49ers, they're getting arguably the best dual-threat running back in the entire league. McCaffrey, he's a bona fide game changer.
KTVU's Jason Appelbaum joins us now. So what have we learned?
You know, guys, when you have 3 full days off in between games, there's going to be a lot of news, a lot of talk. And so today we had, a bunch of nuggets today, really. The NBA has levied a 1-game suspension to Memphis forward Dylan Brooks for what Steve Kerr called a, quote, dirty foul on Gary Payton II.
It was a tough game to watch and really a low-scoring game.
Can we throw in the word ugly?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep going.
No, let's keep going. We'll get to those injuries in a moment. But first, Garoppolo did admit afterwards he basically wasn't in game shape. He had a tired arm, and it showed, particularly in the second half, which was quite frankly difficult to watch. The Sharks, their worst season in 31 years, came to an end tonight with a little bit of history. The Sharks, Devin Cooley from Los Gatos on the left. The Flames, Dustin Wolf from Gilroy on the right, marking the first time 2 goalies from the Bay Area went head-to-head. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sports Wrap, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Jason Appelbaum, Joe Fonzie with you on a day we'd obviously much rather be talking about Warriors-Lakers Game 7. Instead, we, of course, are looking to the off-season now. And we have a big show coming up for you. As you can see, we are joined by the Oakland High School state champion basketball team. They've got the trophy, so we're going to have a full half hour coming up at 11:30. Where, guys? We're going to show a stat later in the show because Joe mentioned I am the stat guy that will just blow you away. I'm going to tease it right now. It's going to blow you away on Brock Purdy and the belief that he's a system quarterback. We're now 18 games into his career as a starting quarterback, so we have a fairly large sample size. That's 1 season's worth of work. What struck me about the release video here, the hype video, not just the jerseys which you're wearing right now, but the way everything you do is so intentional. Yeah. I mean, you made that video so Oakland. A young man named Gates said, "Wait a minute,
oh, you got his name,
aren't you the guru?" So thank you, Gates. I appreciate that.
The guru.
Well, fortunately, the guru actually, as I talk about myself in the third person, won his fantasy league.
Jason, how's it going out there?
Julie and Mike, this is actually a little bit surreal. This didn't exist a month or 2 ago. I'm going to step off to the side. They're calling this a new era in Oakland baseball. You've got Mr. Fab down on the field. You got Kelsey Whitmore. She's the first female ball player to appear in a Pioneer League game. They're expecting a sellout crowd of 4,000 fans here at Raimondi Park. They may outdraw the Oakland A's, who play at the Oakland Coliseum against the Seattle Mariners later tonight. But let me just take you through this real quick. You see the fans out there. Justin, pan over. This is the sight view from the stands out here in the bleachers. You see Oakland as a backdrop. It's the first time, obviously, we've seen this because this ballpark, just popped up. Fans are already in their seats, ready to go. And most of them, are here in part because they're bracing for the A's to leave to Sacramento next year and then obviously to Las Vegas. So the timing couldn't be better for the Ballers. Again, they play out of the Pioneer League. They're taking on the YOLO Wheelers tonight. And the transformation of this park has been nothing short of incredible. As Steve Kerr always likes to say, it's more about the attitude. It's more about how the Warriors play. If they're engaged and they come out with that force and energy, and it gets kind of repetitive because you hear them say it, series after series, but the truth is, if the Warriors play up to their potential and they come out with that energy, it's hard to beat this team. So it's building up here. The Warriors, I don't want to say a must-win because they lost the first 2 to Sacramento, but both of those games were in Sacramento. The difference is they got to win 1 here at home.
What was it that made him such an incredible player on the field?
Well, number one, he was an incredible athlete. Back then as a 17-year-old, he was a star football player on the high school team, a star basketball player. He ran track, baseball. So, number one, just a phenomenal athlete. But I think what kind of, put him over the top in terms of, transcending the sport, so to speak, is the fact that he did it with such joy and flair that you couldn't take your eyes off of him. And it kind of reminds me now, if you want to compare, a different sport and a different player in a different era, what Stephen Curry has done with the Warriors. That type of thing where when he's got the ball in his hands or when he had the bat in his hands, you couldn't take your eyes off him. Yesterday also marked the 3 years to the day that Klay Thompson tore his ACL. The ocean has been a huge part of the healing process for Klay, who posted this picture on his Instagram over the weekend. And then he hit 5 3-pointers and scored 21 points last night. We have followed Captain Klay's journey on social media and in his press conferences for the past year or so. Good evening, everybody. St. Mary's is locked up an NCAA berth and heads into March Madness as one of the hottest teams in all of college basketball. The Gales and the Zags meeting in the WCC championship game for the 3rd straight year. St. Mary's led most of the game, up 3 when Mason Forbes grabs the offensive rebound, kicks it out to Aiden Mahaney for the deep 3. The former Camp Alindo star led the Gales with 23 points, and a couple of minutes later, the dagger, Augustus Marcialonis, tough little hook shot, it drops. He had 13 points, 8 assists, and it is a party in Las Vegas for the Gales, who beat Gonzaga 69-60 to capture its 5th conference title in program history. The Gales are 23-2 in their last 25 games. All right, let's keep it locked with exhibition baseball for tonight's Check This Out. Blue Jays at Phillies, Clearwater, Florida. Zach Britton golfs one out for the Jays, but keep your eyes on the fans in right field going for the ball.
That's off the back fence.
Come on. And an older guy, too, huh?
Listen, it's spring training for them, too.
Oh, yeah.
They got to work it out.
They got a lot of work
They're not
to do.
in regular season.
No, they're not.
No, it's a good point.
And what do you do with the ball?
Well, it's I was going to say $7 baseball, but
There's a lot riding on
you
this.
do get bragging rights, right?
Sock draw.
There were
All
no,
right,
there
and
was
check
no
this
beer
out.
involved.
College basketball the other day.
Throws it up court. Here's the shot. Lloyd for the win. Bang! I can't believe it. The Lumberjacks have tied the game.
It was 73 all. You can hear him in real time. The announcer kind of figuring out he blew the call.
Down 3.
He got a little ahead of himself.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, those very same Lumberjacks, they ended up losing the game in overtime. So they went from a win in regulation.
Just think if he got it right, it'd be all over the place.
It's a great call.
Yeah, it is a great call.
Well, it's not even his call. Bang is what, Mike
That's a
Bream,
Mike
right?
Bream. Yeah, sure.
But it's still a good call, and we all make mistakes. And he
Absolutely.
he was 1 point off. Because this 18-year-old from Richmond, she's reaching new heights in gymnastics. She's headed to UCLA, and one day she hopes the Olympics. Mika Webster-Longan is a rising star in gymnastics.
Gymnastics is my everything.
Last year, this high school senior from the East Bay burst on the scene by winning the developmental program national championship in the uneven bars, floor exercise, and all around.
At nationals, I was just completely in the zone. Nothing could shake my excitement of being able to compete. And I don't know, I was just so focused the whole time. Before I'd won, I was just kind of some random gymnast from East Bay. And then, I was like, wow, if I can do this, what else can I do in my sport?
Buoyed by her stellar showing at nationals, Mika was invited to a national team training camp last summer.
Getting coached by U.S. national team coaches and them being like, oh yeah, like, you're good, was like, whoa, I am?
Her passion for the sport started at age 4, before she even knew what gymnastics was. Her mom explains.
She was bouncing off the couch, rolling off the couch, sometimes tumbling on her head, and we were just like, this is too dangerous. So we took her into gymnastics.
And within a year, she was invited to join the team.
And 14 years later, here we are.
And where that is training 35 hours a week while still maintaining her status as an honor student at St. Mary's College High School in Albany.
So how does she pull it off?
Lots of support. Like, I've been very grateful for all of the help from my school, from St. Mary's. They've been really helpful working with me through the changes.
One of those changes includes schooling at home while she prepares for competitions. But like any elite athlete, greatness does not come without sacrifice.
It's a really hard balance to be out there socially and to be doing high-level gymnastics.
My love of gymnastics is so strong that I've been able to make those trade-offs and be like, I know it's going to pay off in the long run, and even if I'm going to miss out on something like in short term, it's worth my long-term goal.
So you've got your eye on the prize, really.
Yes.
It hasn't always been smooth sailing. About 5 years ago, Mika's love for gymnastics hit a rough patch. At age 13, after nearly 10 years in the sport, she was burned out.
I had a lot of mental blocks, which is kind of like when you get scared of skills, because gymnastics is a very, very mental sport.
But rather than quit, Mika switched gyms and coaches, which was exactly what she needed.
She was afraid of everything, and she just was burnt out, didn't really love gymnastics.
And you dance in the corner, it's more contraction.
Coach Lisa Terry is the owner of East Bay Gymnastics in Concord, where Mika trains.
Or when you step, it's here and go.
As a former gymnast herself, she could empathize with what Mika was going through.
I think what I did is I went slow and I listened, because she had a lot of anxiety. I recognized all that stuff underneath, and then we slowly unpacked that stuff underneath.
Moving to East Bay has been so magical because my coach Lisa has really helped me rediscover the love of gymnastics.
Look around the corner.
That love and hard work has taken her to new heights, including a scholarship to her dream school, Powerhouse UCLA.
It's so cool. Yeah, I mean, when I was 8 years old, I remember watching UCLA floor routines and being like, I want to do that. I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else.
And if becoming a Bruin wasn't enough, Mika, whose father is Belgian, earned a spot on their national team, putting her one step closer to making it to the pinnacle of her sport.
My dream was to go to the Olympics. You know, most baby gymnasts' dreams are, and it's the same as mine. So being able to actually achieve that, knowing that so few people do, would be just amazing.
Coach Terry says with Mika's continued hard work and dedication, the 2028 Olympics are definitely within her reach.
She's not even close to what she's capable of. She has so much gymnastics left in her. I think Mika can go as high as she decides she wants to go with it.